Going on, y'all? Neo, Synapse, and you, and a Greek god, as you can see, are inside the Synaptic DCUO video today. 1 o'clock Eastern today was the stream for Amazon Fury Part 2. They showcased some of the stuff that we are going to see and told us a little bit about what we're going to do in Amazon Fury. Pretty good live stream today. I gotta say, I was impressed for the most part with what they talked about. So let's get into it. We will be traveling through the gates of Tartarus, pretty much into Hades itself. Labyrinth, Palace of Hades, these are some of the places we are going to visit. We'll be going back to Themyscira. We'll be seeing Hippolyta again, things like that. Some of the bosses you can expect to see: Minotaurs, the Cerberus, which is one of my personal favorites, Hydra. You'll even see the Paradox Council again, the Lex Luthors, or for the villains, the Batman guys. Let's see here: Wonder Woman and Circe, and Hades and Ares, which should be pretty interesting, and they're going to be huge. If anybody played God of War, you know what I'm talking about. I doubt they'll be that big, but it should be pretty interesting. Some of the enemies that you'll be fighting in the open world stuff, which we'll be talking about in a minute, mythological creatures there like Minotaurs will be fighting, and Brainiac will have control over them, so they'll be like the Union guys you see in South Gotham. Another interesting tidbit: Spittle's dogs apparently did the voiceover there for the Cerberus beast, that boss. They took the audio of them fighting in the studio, his two little dogs there, and they did whatever studio magic they were going to do for the audio for those dogs. So look out for that. See if you can pick that out when you get it there. So what about the content? So we're going to have solos, Gotham Under Siege dailies. You'll get it. It's just like how it was before. You know, you go around and you do your daily content for marks, and I'm sure they'll have something at the end of the week for some gear or what have you. They will have two four-player operations. One is Return to the Nexus. That's CR106 for both actually, and it drops 96 gear commonly, and rare drops will be 98. The other four-player operation will be the Act of Defiance, and that's where you'll fight the Hydra and meet Ares. We'll also be getting 3 8-player raids, not operation, raids. 3. So that's 2 4-player operations and 3 raids, plus the solo content. Pretty good stuff there. The first raid, Labyrinth of Lost Souls. One of the mechanics you'll find in there, I'm assuming, is kind of like when you want to find the wardens at the end of Necropolis. Somebody has to stand on this portal, whatever it is, to open some gate, that kind of thing. They were talking about in the live stream. So they're trying to do a bit more of the mechanic stuff instead of just high health bosses that you have to take out, which I am grateful for. 98 gear will drop commonly, and 100 item level gear will drop for the rare stuff. That's for both of those, or all 3 of those raids, as far as the gear there. The second raid will be the Hall of Hades, and in that raid you'll have to fight Cerberus. It's a mechanics heavy raid according to Spittle, and one of the mechanics is the fact that Cerberus is going to be hunting you throughout the entire raid, and you have to do different things in the raid to keep him at bay until the end. It's what it looks like. That sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting. Hope it is. The third, the Throne of the Dead, and that is where you fight Hades, and that should be pretty awesome. They showed some images of his throne room, which were pretty cool, or at least part of his throne room in the that initial image that I showed you guys there. Now, another big thing is the Elite Raid. Now, what is that? The Elite Raid is pretty much the Throne of the Dead raid. Once you beat that raid, you have 2 weeks to do the Elite Raid, which is a pretty much how Spill described it, was a survival mode type difficulty version of the Throne of the Dead. So the NPC CRs will be much higher, you know, and some other little tricks he said you'll have to master in order to beat that. it will drop 101 gear, which will be the highest gear in the game. There'll be more chances for a drop in there and more feats. Now, what's pressing about this elite raid is this. If you have not done the elite raid within 2 weeks of having completed the regular Throne of the Dead raid, you will not be able to do the elite raid until you have done the regular raid again. Okay, you with me? So you beat the regular raid, you do the elite raid. You have 2 weeks to do it, or else you'll have to do the regular raid again in order to gain access to the elite raid and that gear. Now we'll also have a new vendor. You can buy with marks and with March of Fury and with Symbols of Myth. Okay, that vendor will sell 99 level gear. So we're going all the way from 96 gear to 101 gear. The 99 gear you can buy if you're getting mostly 98 gear in the raids, too few 100 item levels. So you want to get your CR up to for the elite stuff. You can buy some 99 gear to get you up there to add to whatever rare 100s that you were getting before, which is pretty cool. Speaking of gear, there will be a Mask of OP, a 102 level mask that will drop from the elite raid. I'm assuming either that or the Throne of the Dead raid, but I would put my money on the elite raid. And that's it as far as the gear goes. It's some pretty interesting stuff. The Hall of the Dead raid, by the way, is a 107 CR requirement as opposed to the 106 CR requirement for the other two. Another thing, and perhaps something even more or most important, I should say, for the elite raid, you have only 3 deaths. I believe it's 3 deaths per section. So if you go down for the 3rd time, you will not be able to get back up. There will be no pickups for you within that fight, I guess. Probably boss fights or important sections of the raid. So you have to be on your game, try not to die. You know, you can't get stuck in your rotation, myopic view, just straight ahead. You have to make sure you're paying attention to the mechanics, getting out of the way, and things like that. It's pretty interesting. Now, as far as gear style, Wonder Woman and Cersei inspired gear will be available. They showed the Wonder Woman gear. Definitely not a fan. Definitely, at least not for the for males. The Cersei gear looks pretty cool, I gotta say. It is up on PC Test right now, along with, yes, the Quantum Advanced Mechanic update. As you've been seeing throughout the video here, my boy King Ed was testing Quantum out, and it seems to be extremely powerful. Not something that is underpowered in any way, and not even average in any way. It's in my testing, it's probably the most powerful pure advanced mechanic right now, as of today. You know, changes obviously can be made, probably will be made, who knows. But it looks pretty cool. It's based on Time Bomb. I'll be doing some streaming, hopefully at some point, to show you guys some of the Quantum stuff. But if not, you can probably check King Ed's, that's King__Ed on Twitch. He'll be streaming some stuff too. So it's based on Time Bomb. Pretty much what you do is you have time, from what I'm seeing, you have time for 3 powers in between Time Bomb. So you cast Time Bomb, you cast 3 powers from the time tree. All of this is based on the time tree, and the cumulative damage from those 3 powers, crits and all, will be focused into the Time Bomb explosion. Okay? So your rotation would go something like, you know, Time Bomb, power, 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 Time Bomb, power, power, power. Not the most exciting, yes, but the damage is it's pretty up there. I saw on those new sparring targets there that don't have any defense, I saw a 54,000 hit. That's the highest I've seen personally, without any buffs or crazy circumstances or anything like that. So it's looking pretty good as far as damage output is concerned. They did not touch quantum tunneling, so don't worry about that. Quantum's one of my favorite powers too. It's probably my first favorite visual power and my second favorite power overall. Yeah, when I was testing it, it was pretty cool. It's not as boring as mental because it's faster, but it's not as versatile as gadgets. But it does way more damage than all of those things. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. It doesn't look like there'll be any space for weapon mastery right now, you know, to add into the damage or anything like that. It's going to be a pure AM kind of thing. You could probably run with Gravity Well and Robot Sidekick, something like that, in order to get a little extra boost. But other than that, it's pretty cut and dry. So, I mean, let me know what you think. You're seeing Ed do what he's doing. You're seeing some of the numbers there. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Amazon Fury and what's going to happen. All right, tell a friend to tell a friend. See you next time inside the Synaptic.